Living in Kenya has completely changed who I am today. A few years ago, I was really shy. I was not confident at all. I could have never imagined to speak in front of a camera. But after traveling to almost 30 countries and now living in the third continent, in the third country, I learned so much about myself than I ever thought is possible, to be honest. In today's video, I want to share with you how the journey of moving to Kenya and of course all these other small steps that are a portion of my immense growth were pivotal to be the person who I am today. And my name is Marvin. I moved 2 years ago at 23 from Germany to Nairobi in Kenya. And since then, I'm trying to show you how the African continent actually looks like, what kind of business opportunities you have here in Kenya, how to make your move possible, and just how to build a more fulfilling life here on the African continent. But now let's dive right into the topic and let me take you on my personal journey of change and growth that came with my move to Kenya, but also came with all the other steps in between of making this move. I saw my confidence rising. I saw myself not being shy at all anymore. Now I'm able to communicate with everybody, talk to everybody and anybody everywhere I want to. And I think this is not just because I left to Kenya. It's more also of an internal change than just an external change. Of course, the external part pushed me to leave my comfort zone and pushed me to start talking to new people, to start figuring things out on my own. But also, if I would have not been ready at this point to make these internal changes in my new environment, I think I would have been home already a long time. Because for something like this, you need to be tough, you need to be strong. And that's something I realized later. I think I was ready. I was ready to tackle everything, but I was also a little bit naive, to be very honest. I was just here. I was ready to take on everything. And this without knowing 100% what kind of challenges will come towards my way. And this is something I can say now after traveling to almost 30 countries all over the world. And as mentioned before, I lived in Germany for my whole life. I spent a year in the States. Now I've been in Kenya for the last 2 years, so on the African continent for 2 years. And I think the last 2 years living here in Kenya, this is something that pushed me over the edge to be like, wow, you can actually do everything you want. Because before, I think you live in Germany, you move to the States, there's not a huge difference for you. But now if you're ready to move to an African country, for me, Kenya in this case, this showed me that I'm actually ready to do whatever I want to do. And this showed me that I'm actually more confident, that I'm actually really believing in my own abilities, that I can just pull a move like this and make it work somehow. Even, of course, it's not easy. There were many struggles involved. There was many problems, many challenges I faced here in this process. But it just showed me a lot what I'm capable of, and that this could be just a starting point for whatever will come towards me in my life. And if there's something that I really appreciate about the move here in Kenya, is that it really forced me to be myself and to be more open for new things. As I said, when you move from Germany to the States, you probably don't have to adjust very much. But if you move from Germany or from a Western country to Kenya, life is different and people are different, the culture is different, the norms are different, the rules are different. So basically the whole set of rules and everything else is completely different from what you're used to. And this forces you, and this forced me in this case, to step out of my own comfort zone and to open up, to try new things out, to be flexible with everything. Because first of all, I wanted to learn the language Kiswahili, even if I didn't need to, but like many or most people speak the language, so I wanted to learn the language. That's one new thing. I needed to adapt to new cultural norms, how to speak to people, how to communicate with them, how they want to be treated, how business works here, how relationships are built here. So basically everything was new, and all of these things forced me to look into myself, to figure out how I can treat these people properly, how I want to be treated in this case, and how the whole environment works. And this is something that really requires a lot of attention, especially, let's say I came here to do business, and in the first year and even now I still have to figure out new things, because when you come with the mindset of the Western countries, it will not work out properly for you, because you have to adjust to the people. They may sometimes don't understand what you want because you don't communicate properly. You will have problems because you think the market needs something that they actually don't need. And this is just because you have your Western mentality with you. So you always need to adapt in this case. And this is what I had to do. I had to force myself to just dig deep into the culture, learn a language, get to know cultural norms, get to know what people do here. So all these different challenges in a combination of like help me a lot to grow much further. If something like this challenges you and you see that you can manage to go through these things, I think it shows you the ability that you can go wherever you want to go and you can still figure things out. And one of the funniest things I would say, when I came here first, I had just the hunger to make everything work without even knowing actually what I wanted to do here. So I was really just like going in, not completely blind, but with a couple of ideas. But with my today's perspective, I can say most of the time I was blind, because I would just came here and was like, I would just build one of the solutions I had in my mind. And when I now think back of all these things I had in my mind I wanted to build, I see that they didn't even make a lot of sense, because I was too focused on what I thought the people need here on the ground. And I was very incorrect with these things. I tried a couple of things in this meantime, but I'm still actually figuring out what the market needs and still learning about like new problems, still learning from different kinds of other startups I meet up here with and help with what actually needs to be done here. So basically spending 2 years here in this environment, in this market with the new people I met, helped me a lot to develop a more global mindset. Now I met people from all over the world. I met people with all different kinds of businesses in different kinds of niches and industries and markets. So it just opened up my mind to a more globalized version. When I was living in Germany or when I was living in the States, it was more about in this one country. But now I meet people from all over the world, like just on a daily basis. And this helps me to build a more global mindset, would also help me to build a more global network, would help me to see that everybody is actually a very open person and want to communicate with you and like learn some new from you and want to start something in Sweden, Kenya, that I'm not the only person. So I can connect very well with these people too. If I have to tell you the biggest learning I made while living here in Kenya for the last 2 years, it's really just stepping out of my comfort zone every single day. I was a very shy person when I was younger. I was very much not confident at all. I was very quiet. I didn't believe in myself and my abilities. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, if I don't know it, I will learn how to do it or will find someone who can do it. And at this point, I can just speak up. I understand the value for myself. I understand the value I have. I understand myself much better, and that I can do whatever I want if I really want to do it. And in this instance, I think this move was the most powerful thing that I could have done so far in my life. So I would say the biggest change I made through is just I started to believe in myself, and I understand now that I can do everything I put my mind into. And this is something very, very beautiful if I look back at the time where I was really shy, bad in school, not confident, and had many, many problems back at home. But now I can say that this move, and you guys, you Kenyans, helped me a lot with like changing my mindset, developing myself further, grow much further. And I really, really appreciate the support of everybody here I met along my journey. I just appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching.